rock stars, when they hit stardom, when they break it and top in the charts, breaking records, going platinum, and starting to lay down a reputation of what they're into,
right? As in a sense of,
well, what represents making it big? The stories you hear in the tabloids about a band, what are going to be?
Yeah, it's for me. There's a 50-50 split on that, because you can, if you make it big,
well, just generalize.
Yeah.
Stereotypically,
you're
going to hear about
the partiers, the ones who.
What would you find there?
Yeah.
What are you going to find when they're blowing their money? What are the things they're blowing their money on?
Bitches and drugs,
whores, coke, hotel rooms, cars.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a stereotypical male rock star.
Yeah.
What is the female rock star blowing their money on?
Wow. The only
one I can think of right off the bat is Janis Joplin.
Yeah,
and she'd probably be right there along with most of the male rock stars.
I heard she opened the doors, dude, rock wise, for a lot of these. There wouldn't have been no freaking Courtney Love or Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, The Runaways, Lita Ford, Vixen. I could go on and on, dude.
Right.
She paved the way for a lot of them, dude. She, to the audience out there, if you don't know, for the younger generation, if you don't know who Janis Joplin is, get a hold of her greatest hits. And enough said, man. That's and she was a serious. I read documentaries on her and seen little what is that behind the music and stuff of her, and dude, she partied with the best of them, man. She partied with the best of them, and she spent most of her money again on drugs and alcohol,
Right.
Her and Jimi Hendrix, dude, used to party like fucking madman, dude. And she could drink with the best of them, dude. Another group that there was a documentary put out, and it was of the Go-Go's, Belinda Carlisle and the other ones, and they talk about how they actually got a video out where they talk about they're literally making a porn and snorting coke when they're in their younger days, and they talk about that. And then as they got older, they realized, fucking, what are we doing, man? And they ended up going their separate ways. Belinda Carlisle came back, and she made the biggest comeback. I think one of the other ones was on Surreal Life about maybe 5-10 years ago. I don't know. And they're back. They're actually back on tour right now. I believe they are. Those are the only. I'm thinking those are the only two that I can really think of that when it comes to partying or the woman party or rock star life, because Britney Spears, she was just a dope fiend,
right?
Who else? I can't think of any. I'd have to sit here and
Courtney Love.
Oh yeah, Courtney Love she was another one, dude, from Hole. Yeah, for a woman to come into any woman to come into the rock scene or pop scene or whatever, dude, they have to look at it the same way as a male person. You know what I mean? You have to be disciplined. You have to know what you're doing. And if it comes to
that's not what I'm discussing.
No, but
what I'm trying to say is, in excess, when they do break away from that and say, I've made it big, I want to blow my money on something ridiculous because I can now.
Right.
What am I gonna do?
It depends on whether you're sensible or not. Fucking you buy.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You're not being sensible because you hit it big. There is that money, that FU money.
Of course.
I'm gonna do what I want. What do you think falls on those lines?
Fuck, I don't know. What's your fucking point?
I'm just saying.
I thought you had some kind of answer for me.
No,
like this is some kind of riddle.
We know what I would do. You know what you would do.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hookers and hotel rooms, and boats. Party
yachts.
What?
Yachts.
Women think differently. I'm imagining what I don't know. Fucking
scuba gear,
kittens, fucking shoes.
Yeah,
like fucking an endless supply of puppy dogs and kittens and dresses. Like with the crab measurer from Deadliest Catch, when that cat's head gets too big, just chuck it out and make a new pair of shoes out of it. But what is it the women are gonna buy?
I don't know. You know what? We have to get another woman in here to an interviewer and ask her. Write that down, man. Because I really,
for the
I don't know.
Point, when a man rock star hits it big.
And again, that's
those stories of hookers and coke are bound to happen. But there isn't a stereotype for when a woman does it.
That was a good conversation, though. I like that. It's something to think about.
Well, think about this, Marin. Have you ever heard of the artist G.G. Allin?
The inventor of the G-string?
That is incorrect.
Okay. Insert buzz here.
Kevin Michael G.G. Allin, born Jesus Christ Allin, August 29th, 1956. Lived till June 28th, 1993. He was an American punk rock singer-songwriter who performed and recorded with many groups during his career. G.G. Allin is best remembered for his notorious live performances, which often featured transgressive arts including coprophagia, self-mutilation, and attacking audience members. AllMusic and G4TV's That's Tough have called him the most spectacular degenerate in rock and roll history, and the second toughest rock star in the world, respectively. Although more notorious for his stage antics than for his music, he is recorded prolifically, not only in the punk rock genre, but also in spoken word, country, and more traditional style rock. His extremely politically incorrect lyrics, which often covered subjects such as misogyny, pedophilia, and racism, polarized listeners and created various opinions of him with the highly politicized punk rock community. When questioned about his music in concerts, Allin often replied that he was trying to make rock music dangerous again.
I see that. Things that you've seen back then were shocking. Case in point, Alice Cooper, Iggy and the Stooges. He would take a razor in live shows and literally cut himself while on stage. Whereas today, you have I don't know who's the last shocker that you've seen, like whether it be a video or on stage or live or whatnot. I mean, that really was like, holy shit, what the.
Alice Cooper kind of comes to mind. Ozzy probably tops the charts, but a lot of the things were assumed,
right,
that weren't actually true.
And again, this is coming back. This is going to what the stereotypical is of like for me. The last I seen was like Marilyn Manson, really shocking and in your face. And to the younger generation, it was new. Then you tell them that ain't shit. Go back and watch Alice Cooper. They go back and watch Alice Cooper, and they go, well, that's where like Kiss. Another little fun fact for whoever's listening: Kiss, when Kiss first got together, they seen Alice Cooper, and they thought, well, fuck, if one guy can put makeup on and make that much music, imagine what four motherfuckers can do. There you go.
And rock stardom. When it comes to really breaking that mold, I would have to say this guy, G.G. Allin, should have been given a lot more fame.
Credit, yeah.
Because of the things that he's done. When you hear the term, a party like a rock star, this guy, he is very polarizing in the sense that if you can top him, you're probably on your way to making a pretty big name for yourself.
Yeah.
By the mid to late 1980s, Allin was addicted to heroin and alcohol and generally abused any intoxicants provided to him. At this point, Allin also began eating laxatives before performances, as defecation was becoming a regular part of his stage act.
Holy shit!
Allin described himself as the last true rock and roller. By this, he meant that rock and roll music itself has started as an embodiment of danger, anti-authoritarianism, and rebelliousness, but had become largely taken over by corporations and business concerns. Allin's music and performances were thus meant to return rock and roll to what he saw as its roots, reclaiming it from the corporate systems. Allin idolized country music legend Hank Williams and saw himself as a kindred spirit, but were relative loners and outsiders. Both were habitual users of intoxicants. Both lived with few, if any, possessions, and both traveled the country relentlessly. Allin's acoustic output, documented on the EP The Troubled Troubadour, was heavily influenced by Williams. He recorded his own rewrites of Hank Williams Jr.'s Family Tradition and David Allan Coe's Long-Haired Redneck, calling his own versions Scumfuck Tradition and Outlaw Scumfuck, respectively. Later, Allin also released...
Of course, respectively, of course.
Also
how else would you take that?
Country album, Carnival of Excess.
And where are you getting your information from?
Wikipedia. Well, this guy, I remember a friend showing me a video of this dude, and I mean, he's literally slamming heroin on camera.
Wow.
I mean, and the things that he would do on the video are the things that you're looking for when you're watching Motley Crue or Ozzy Osbourne. You're like, I want to see them prove to me that you're fucking getting high. I mean, we all know that they're loaded during their performances, but prove it. Show us getting high. You know, that's
right.
That's what the backstage, you know, rock and roll video should be. Like, let's see you
when you sing the first verse and the first verse last. Yeah, you're kind of fucked up.
So show us the hookers that you're banging, you know,
right.
that you're taking on to the tour bus,
right.
and let's see you getting high. This dude showed it all. You know, Wikipedia states you would lay down, you know, plastic fucking tarps on the stage floor and literally shit out on stage, like projectile diarrhea.
Wow.
I mean, it was horrendous, disgusting, and you feel sick watching it.
And the people loved it.
Well, they keep coming back.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what that says about you if you're a diehard G.G.
Right.
Allin fan.
I think you just, in preparation, wear a fucking raincoat. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Literally, wear a fucking raincoat.
This isn't Gallagher, man.
No.
You're gonna don't sit front seat.
Right,
Please, front row.
This is the one
I wonder
time.
if those are like real cheap seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
That's
the
my
real
point exactly.
expensive ones.
That's my point exactly. The further you are back, the more expensive the seats are.
Man.
First time in history, the balcony went for $1,500 a seat.
But anyways, if anybody wants to see if that shit's true, I don't know. I should check it out on YouTube.
You know what? To the listeners out there,
YouTube,
dude, they show a lot of stuff on YouTube. You'd be amazed at when they find on YouTube. Well, at least what I find on YouTube. Not like I'm looking for. Anyway.
wild rock star, man.
Yeah, for sure. And again, to our audience, if you want to see some good, and this is from just the archives of my youth, there was a series called Hard and Heavy. And you could probably YouTube it. And there's volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and it talks about the 80s and 90s. They follow the camp. You know, like every month they put out. It's like a magazine, but a video magazine on VHS. You know, they would follow around bands like Kiss, Wasp, Saxon, Death Angel, King Diamond, Voivod, Man of War. You know, they would show how wild and crazy they could get, you know, and how nutty they could get. And there was a dark side to it too, because you would see them getting drunk and shit faced, and you know, again, you see that party like a rock star mentality. In a weird sixth sense, I looked up to these people. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can, you know. And so, anyway, Hard and Heavy, the edition, I don't know what it's called, Hard and Heavy, that's the name of the video. There's edition volume 1, 2, 3, 4 and whatnot. Anyway, you want to check it out. It's really cool. It's really interesting. Lita Ford's on there. Like I said, Kiss, I named off of everybody. Then they have more too. Anyway, moving on. The fuck are you reading now? All I see is in dark letters, death.
G.G. Allin's last show was on June 27th, 1993 at a small club called The Gas Station, a punk venue located inside of a former gas station at 194 East 2nd Street in Manhattan. During the second song, the power went out, after which he trashed the venue, walked across the street entirely naked, and then continued on, now wearing shorts but still covered in blood and feces, through the neighborhood, followed by a large group of fans. After walking the streets for several hours, Allin eventually went to the apartment of John Hanley. There he and others continued to party and use drugs. Sometime during the evening, Allin ingested large amounts of heroin, on which he accidentally overdosed and slipped into an unconscious state. Those in the apartment posed for photos with Allin around 2 a.m., not realizing...
Alive or dead?
Dead.
Holy fuck,
Not realizing that the musician was already in the early stages of respiratory failure. One fan at the scene later told police that he was snoring at the time the pictures were taken, leading the others in the apartment to believe that he had fallen asleep.
So says the witness.
Sometime in the early morning of June 28th, Allin died from the effects of an accidental heroin overdose. The next morning, some